Hello, everyone, and welcome to our rendition of 5 digital marketing experts walk into a bar. Before I turn it over to allow everyone to do an introduction on who they are, let's quickly set the tone a bit for today. Today, we plan to discuss 4 relevant topics that face our everyday in the digital marketing world. We all have different backgrounds, different positions, different experiences, and different perspectives, so we hope you find it interesting. Okay, now moving on to the introductions, and I'll go first. My name is Brittany Leahy, and I am the Director of Client Services at More Visibility, overseeing all of our client interactions, client programs, and deliverables. And then I'll turn it over to Matt Crowley to do the same.
Hey everyone, my name is Matt Crowley. I'm the Senior Vice President of Digital at More Visibility. I oversee the teams of specialists charged with working on behalf of our clients to help with search engine optimization, advertising, analytics, and design development. I'll turn it over to Anthony.
Thank you, Matt. I am Anthony Gallegos, Senior Creative Designer, Team Lead at More Visibility, and I oversee design and user experience, and I design everything from websites to social media graphics and ensure that the digital interfaces are appealing, user-friendly, and also align with companies' brand identities. And I'll turn it over to Ron.
Thank you, Anthony. My name is Ron Dinger, Senior Campaign Manager here at More Visibility. Work closely with the client strategist with digital ads across different ad networks. And I'll turn it over to Marnie.
Thank you, Ron. My name is Marnie Weinberg. I'm a senior client strategist at More Visibility. I do project management for our clients, and I work under Brittany.
So team, let's kick off this topic by talking about the biggest platform changes released with GA4. And I'll open up the floor as to whoever cares to share.
Where do we start? There's so many. It seems like I'll start it. Seems like it's almost still to a certain degree a newly released product, even though it's not, and that they're changing things so frequently in the platform. I know it's tough for even our analytics team to keep up, and that's all they do all day, every day, is to keep up with things like what's going on with GA4. It's been something that both has changed dramatically from a underlying technical standpoint, meaning what is the different types of data it captures by default, what data do you need to customize it to capture, all the way through to what the interface looks like, are continuing to change very rapidly. New features, new functionality changes a lot. So it's really, really difficult to keep up with all of those changes. Unless you have a strong, full-time focus on it. But it is moving in the right direction in general in terms of having more and more functionality and features that are more helpful for more companies. I would say some of the biggest things that are new or different with GA4, especially when you look at it over Universal Analytics, the prior version, is just how customizable it is. It's very, very customizable from the data that you capture, how you capture that data, to what the interface looks like, what the standard, so to speak, reports are that you see when you log in, and then how that data gets ported out into something like a dashboard. So it is very, very customizable. It continues to get more and more customizable, but requires, a strong depth of knowledge of someone or some people who know what's changing to keep up with all of the trends.
Matt, what are the opportunities about this new data model, and how can More Visibility help clients understand the new opportunities with GA4?
I can go again. I love analytics, but I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. I think the biggest thing is the event data model, maybe is what you're talking about, which is rather than hit-based, it's event-based. Hit-based being what Universal Analytics used. And so it goes back to what I was talking about with how customizable it is, where you can have events that track anything, and then those events become key events that are important for you to track, kind of like conversions. Then you can port those out to things like advertising platforms so that you can measure your performance from ad channels. And so really, it again goes back to how customizable it is. We've helped organizations with everything from, very quote unquote basic implementations to track, what happens on their website, how many people fill out forms and become things like leads, to much more customized ability to track certain interactions that people have with different elements on their website, how to preemptively count things like marketing qualified leads. For example, if you're a B2B organization and you only work with companies that are over a certain size, let's say over 200 people or 200 people in the particular area, like the sales team that you work with. You can on your form have a selector for how many people work in the company or how many salespeople work in the company. And then you can, by the user selection, mark that as a marketing qualified lead, yes or no, when someone fills out that form and submits it. And then you can actually trend and see the number of marketing qualified leads that have happened over time in GA4, and then tie that attribution back to your advertising efforts. So all of that more customized tracking to measure and do things like that through GA4 are great opportunities. And then also connecting that data to dashboards to visualize it, and to pull in data from your CRM tool into like Salesforce into GA4, so that you can blend for B2B what's happening with your leads outside of web analytics with what's happening on the website, where they came from, what attribution should be assigned in terms of the different marketing channels that had an impact or touch point on that particular lead. Those are all of the, I think, most effective newer opportunities with how to leverage that customization.
Thank you. Are there any tools that can be used alongside GA4 to help clients who are required to comply with HIPAA or other PI information?
Yeah, I can chime in there. We work with all sorts of different industries. So obviously this has been something that's been brought up over the last several months to a year. So there are tools, and it just depends on whether or not you want to go back to the previous question of a lot of the frustration around GA4 is, how different it is and how you have to do extra steps in order to access information. So a lot of the clients that come to us with like HIPAA compliance also don't like the entirety of GA4. So, you could go in the direction of something like FreshPaint, where you're still using GA4, but they're just kind of taking away some of the non-HIPAA compliant data. Or there's others that are a completely different kind of user experience, like Matomo and some others. So there's a lot of different opportunities, and our team has gone through the implementation on a lot of the different tools. So something that we are specializing in as we get more familiar with others outside of GA4 as well.
And Brittany, you touched on a good point. And my last question for today is, are there any other tools available that haven't been mentioned for clients to help with any that may be to address frustrations with data visualization in GA4?
Yeah, so Matt touched on it a little bit, but we do a lot of work for our clients to extract the data out of GA4 into Looker Studio. So that allows us a little bit more creative freedom, and also, customization into exactly what the client wants to see. We've done like health of site dashboards. We've done like digital marketing executive dashboards that just extract the information out of GA4 into a different way. So the client doesn't have to log into GA4, create an Explorer report to access the data, and it just makes it a little bit easier and able to be shared to, higher level executives that they don't maybe want to have access to everything within GA4. So I think Looker Studio is kind of something that we've worked on a lot with our clients to avoid that initial change and frustration that happened from Universal to GA4.
One thing that I will add, just talking to lots of clients and prospects on a regular basis, many are extremely frustrated with how different the interface is. A lot of clients have said things like, it wasn't broke. Why did we need to fix it? We don't know where anything is. So we've been doing a lot of training with our clients, getting them more comfortable with the dashboard, getting them more comfortable with the interface itself. But I think everyone would agree it's an extremely different looking platform. Everything's different than it used to be. So there is a learning curve, because it is so robust and so comprehensive. So I think once clients get more comfortable with it, they'll love it. But I think it's new, and, new can sometimes be scary, but it doesn't have to be.
Very true. Very true. Well, those are all the questions on my end. Thank you all for your valuable insights. And thank you to everyone for joining us on the topic of GA4, yay or nay. Have a great day, everyone.